Ready. Round one. And after a long wait, a long series of introductions, both men finally do battle. Both men in dark trunks. If you're watching in color, Quarry in the green trunks. Patterson, black trunks with white trim. Patterson, of course, twice the heavyweight champion of the world, and immediately John Thomas notices a few loose strings on the laces around the right glove, and he immediately pulls them away. So the alert referee avoiding any possible cut by pulling away the loose strands. Patterson, 46 victories, 5 defeats. His losses all to champions. Joey Maxim in an 8-rounder, the former light heavyweight champion. To Ingemar Johansson when he lost the title in '59, twice to Sonny Liston on 1-round knockouts, and to Cassius Clay. 46 victories. Quarry, 10 years younger at 22 years of age, has won 23. He's lost only once, and that to the veteran Eddie Machen on a 10-round decision. He has fought to 3 draws, 1 to Tony Doyle, 2 to Tony Alanchi. Quarry in the white shoes has an extremely powerful left hook. Most of his knockouts, and he has knocked out half of his opponents, have been with that left hand. Patterson hits well with both hands and has scored many of his KOs with that same left hook, including the big victory over Johansson in their return match. Some interesting contrasts. It was Patterson who defeated an aging veteran, Archie Moore, for the then vacated heavyweight title when Rocky Marciano retired. Now tonight in Los Angeles, he risks his number 4 rating against a youngster rated number 10, Jerry Quarry. Patterson, of course, in his youth was able to defeat Moore and win the title in Chicago in November of 1956. It was a 5-round knockout, 5th-round knockout. Both men extremely cautious in this first round as they feel each other out. Patterson, 1 pound heavier. The actual weigh-in today at noon had Patterson at 194 and Quarry at 193. Solid left hook by Quarry, the first sharp blow that's landed in this first round. Quarry's last 2 fights have been with veteran heavyweights. Brian London, he defeated London in 10 rounds. And Alex Mitev of Argentina, he KO'd Mitev in 3. But he has fought no one of the stature of Patterson. Final seconds of round 1. Round 2. Jerry Quarry in the white shoes. Floyd Patterson. As you can see, Patterson not using that extreme peekaboo style, although he still operates basically from that position. Patterson has admitted to willingly opening up more than he did in the past. He is willing to gamble now and then and look for the knockout punch himself. And of course, in so doing, in so gambling, Quarry fans have hoped that Quarry might be able to shoot that left hook home. And Patterson opens up for the first time, and Quarry counters well with the left hand. So Patterson with his first flurry. But the one punch that landed was Quarry's. Good left hand by Patterson.
Dick, as we mentioned earlier, I was most impressed with Floyd's.
Quarry drops Patterson with a left hook. 1 minute, 15 seconds gone in round 2. And Patterson, his eyes appear to be clear. A little foggy. He has a surprised expression on his face as he takes the mandatory 8 count. And he tasted that left hook of Quarry's halfway through round 2. Oh, like a lightning bolt here in the Coliseum. Quarry unleashed that, not follow. He sends it down with a right. 2, Patterson's been thrown twice in this round. A left hook sent him down first, and then a right hand, and he's hanging on for dear life. 50 seconds remaining in round 3, and Jerry Quarry shooting for a knockout. Patterson in deep trouble. He's been down twice in this round. Quarry trying to put him away.
He's physically hurt. There's no question about it.
25 seconds. But Quarry not following up completely. 15 seconds remaining in round 2. Patterson down twice in this round. And this big crowd on its feet in the closing seconds of round 2. Round 3, Jerry Quarry, now with a sizable advantage. 2 knockdowns in round 2, and Floyd Patterson trying to dance stay away. They worked over him feverishly between rounds, and Patterson's eyes appear to be clear now. Quarry using that left hand to start the trouble for Patterson. It was a one-punch knockdown, and then before Patterson could recover, it was a right hand that sent him down the second time.
Taking a peek at the Patterson corner coming up for that round, Dick, it was Floyd himself who put his mouthpiece, placed his mouthpiece into his mouth, rather than have the trainer do it. He seemed to be clear once again.
You might recall that against Ingemar Johansson, Patterson was in serious trouble, but rallied to win by knockout and recover his crown that he had lost to the Swede. So Patterson, the cagey veteran, will now have to fight uphill, but certainly has the capacity to recover, as he has shown in the past. 1 minute gone in round 3.
Dick, one thing I've noticed in young Quarry this evening, the great improvement in the delivery of his right cross.
He's keeping those elbows in close to the body and getting his hips into his punches. Halfway through round 3. Left and a right. And he hurts Quarry with a right hand. Quarry hurt by that right hand and tries to tie up Patterson. Floyd unload. 1 minute remaining in round 3.
Great speed of hand, Floyd Patterson.
But Quarry certainly made Floyd honest in a hurry with that short left hook. Oh, this is shaping into a dandy. Seconds remaining in round 3. Patterson's showing his savvy inside. Patterson. He still has those fast hands, doesn't he? Final seconds now of round 3, and Patterson recovers and perhaps wins that round. Jerry Quarry apologizing for the tardy blow, goes to the corner, and with him here's Mickey Davies.
Take a fast peek into the corner of the young fighting Irishman from Bellflower. Here's Johnny Floyd giving instructions.
Don't pull away from this guy, yes?
When he starts to bombard and close up on him, don't give him no room. You hear?
Don't give him no room is right on that bombardment deal. Understand? He hurts you done, huh?
Wherever he moves,
all right.
wherever he moves, meet him with the left hand, sneak the right hand. You'll set him up for the left
He
hook.
made his big move. Okay,
Jerry was asked by manager John Flores if he was hurt in that round. He shook his head. No, I was not hurt.
So Quarry, after winning impressively round 2, perhaps lost that round to Patterson as Floyd recovers well. All right, we go to round 4. Dick Enberg and Mickey Davies at ringside at the Los Angeles Coliseum. More than 20,000 fans for this one. Floyd Patterson and Jerry Quarry. Patterson, the ex-heavyweight champion, down twice in round 2. Patterson has fought but 3 times in the last 2 years. In 1966, he KO'd Henry Cooper in London in 4. In 1967, 2 knockout victories, Willie Johnson in 4, Bill McMurray in 1. So his last 3 victories have been by knockout. They trade right hands. Patterson's to the body, the more effective. For the first time this evening, one of the fighters uses the left jab. They've been basically going with the crosses and hooks. Halfway through round 4, Patterson blocking that left hand.
In prepping for this contest this evening, Dick, Floyd tells us he boxed 65 rounds, while the other young Irishman from Bellflower put in 50 rounds of boxing down in San Jacinto, California.
Patterson opened a cut over the right eye of Quarry with that left hand, and it looks to be serious. It could be a very serious cut. That left hand, when Patterson jumped off his feet to fire the hook, opened a cut over the eye of Quarry, and that could very well be a factor in this fight. 40 seconds remaining in round 4, and we'll watch it closely. It appears to be serious. It's on the outside of the right eye, and is bleeding heavily. You see it now. And Patterson firing away at it. 25 seconds remaining in round 4, and John Thomas, the referee, is now watching that eye very closely. So the corner of Quarry will have plenty to do at the end of this round. Final seconds tick off in round 4. Round 5, there's Jerry Quarry. They worked on that cut eye. It's the right eye, and we asked referee John Thomas, who inspected it between rounds. We asked John, how bad is it? He said, it's bad. So it definitely is a factor. Floyd Patterson, the veteran, will be shooting at it. And Patterson opening up. And perhaps that is the youngster Quarry's best chance. If Patterson's willing to gamble and open up, Quarry might be able to land with a big one, too, and then the eye wouldn't make much difference. It would figure that Floyd might want to stay away and peck away at that eye, jab at it, work at it.
Accommodations, Dick, by the former heavyweight champion.
The right eye of Quarry has not reopened, so they did a good job.
Teddy Bentham of New York, one of the top cornermen and cutmen in the business, is working with Quarry this evening.
Halfway through round 5. For those of you who have never seen Quarry before on our network, Quarry has not fought well after round 5. Basically, he's been a 5-round fighter and has been extremely effective early. But whenever the fight has gone beyond 5, Quarry's effectiveness has seemingly decreased with each round. Patterson may have that in mind, although he's never seen Quarry fight. He knows about it. Quarry using the right hand and landing.
Jerry now has a cut on the outside of his mouth, Dick.
And the eye cut is now bleeding again. 30 seconds remaining in round 5. We approach the halfway mark of this scheduled 10-rounder. Patterson took Quarry's best left hand and come well. And Patterson now in complete control. Final seconds of round 5. To his eye, while Floyd Patterson on the other side of the ring just relaxed there, leans back and rinses his mouth. He has to feel good the way things are going at this point, Mickey.
He seems to have taken command now, Dick, as you said. Working in the corner with the former heavyweight champion of the world is his trainer, Ernie Fowler, along with Richie Norton. While in the other corner with the boy from Bellflower, California, Johnny Flores, the co-manager, along with Julio Flores and Teddy Bentham.
To complete the story on Patterson, as we look at him on the left, he compared boxing with loving a woman. He said if you love a woman very much and you know you're going to lose her someday, you wouldn't give her up. You would want to stay with her as much as you can. He says that's the way I feel about boxing. Patterson saying he loves boxing. He loves the sounds. He loves the smells. It has been his life, and he has become a very successful young man because of boxing. And he says he does not want to give it up until he feels that he is not a credit to it. And certainly to this point at 32, Patterson has been a credit. Round 6. In case you joined us late, Jerry Quarry had Patterson down twice in round 2. First with a left, then with a right. But Patterson opened a cut over the right eye of Quarry in round 3, and since that time, Patterson has been in control, and the eye of Quarry not improving any.
The former heavyweight champion, Dick, has 3 brothers who are active in boxing. In fact, one of them now, Ray, is campaigning over in Europe. His other 2 brothers, Billy and Frank, were very active in the business.
Patterson scored well in exactly that same spot earlier in the fight. And he lands a good right hand, catching Quarry, walking straight in. You saw that one perhaps better than most of the 20,000 plus at the Coliseum. Quarry bleeding from the mouth and from the right eye. Patterson unmarked.
Patterson's chief second and trainer, Ernie Fowler, yelling from the corner, "Don't wait, Floyd, don't wait."
Patterson has enjoyed great success inside. Watch the veteran work here. Able to hammer home a right hand. And a solid left to the body. Vicious hook to the body of Patterson. And another. Two best body punches of the fight. Those 2 left hooks thrown by Quarry at Patterson. Final minute now of round 6. Round 7. Here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, Floyd Patterson, after kissing the canvas twice in round 2, has rallied well, and opening cuts in the mouth and over the right eye of Jerry Quarry, has won the advantage in most of the rounds since round 3 in the eyes of many of the ringside observers. Al Bolin, the manager working closely as an agent with Floyd Patterson, commented that as far as he can recall, that's one of the few times that Patterson has ever been knocked down in a non-title fight, and he said he had to go all the way back to the 3rd fight in Patterson's career, just a youngster, when he was knocked down in a non-title bout. Short right hand of Patterson. It was a similar left hook that Patterson just missed with that opened that cut over the eye in round 3 as he sprung from a crouch and fired the left hand, landing right on the eye. A right hand right on the button of Patterson. And Quarry may have hurt Patterson again. It was a solid right cross, and Patterson is hanging on. From the veteran, who wisely works him closely inside.
Jerry feinted with the right hand to the body and took it right over the top, Dick, and found the mark.
And again, Patterson gains quick respect for the youngster Quarry. One minute remaining in round 7.
Teddy Bentham, working in the corner of Jerry Quarry, has done a remarkable job of patching up the lacerated right eye as well as his mouth, Dick. A fine job.
Ooh, a vicious left to the midsection of Patterson. Those punches, of course, are missed by the folks sitting way back here at the Coliseum, but most evident here at ringside. Final seconds now of round 7. Quarry down. In the closing seconds, you can't be saved by the bell. He'll take the mandatory 8 count, and then the bell will ring. There it is, the end of round 7. And we go to the corner of Jerry Quarry. Mickey, did you see the blow that finally sent him to the canvas?
Actually, it looked like from where I'm sitting here, Dick, it looked like a right hand followed by a left hook. And they were both exchanging punches at the time. And Jerry is well on his way to winning the round, I thought, anyway, when he was nailed at the end of the round and dropped to the deck.
Actually, our position here at ringside, we were screened from the punch. Quarry had his back to us, and you could just see the flailing arms of Patterson. It appeared to be a short right hand that dropped him. But perhaps on the videotape check or in the interview after the fight, we'll be able to determine that. All right, we're down to the final 3 rounds now, and Patterson rallying in what appeared to be a winning round for Quarry to drop the youngster. That's the 3rd knockdown of the fight. The first 2 go to Quarry in round 2. Round 8, 3 to go. Be interesting to see how much damage Patterson accomplished with that knockdown at the end of round 7. It was fortunate for Quarry that it came at the end of the round, because Patterson was unable to follow up immediately, and Quarry now has had a full minute to recover.
One of Floyd's favorite things, Dick, is to fake a run lead, have his opponent pull back, and he latches out with that left hook. He follows through right through with a left hook.
Patterson now with Quarry pinned against the rope, scoring well. Without that punching room, Quarry unable to land cleanly. Quarry had Patterson down twice in round 2, and then in the closing seconds of round 7, Patterson nailed Quarry and dropped him to the canvas with a mandatory 8 count. Quarry, since round 3, has been suffering from a cut right eye. Although his corner has done a good job of patching it up, it has been a factor. And Patterson now enjoying good advantage, working inside. Now Quarry attempts to spin him, but the veteran Patterson is ready for the technique. This big crowd of over 20,000 fans has been treated to a dandy heavyweight scrap. Quarry surprising Patterson early, but Patterson coming back and has been the stronger of the two in the late round. It would appear, unless Quarry can rally in the final 2 rounds, that Patterson is on his way to a decision victory, but it's close enough that it could go either way at this point.
Once again, Jerry Quarry's eye is reopened.
Final seconds now of round 8. Round 9, we're in the final 6 minutes. Patterson must figure that he is ahead on points, and from his style here early in round 9, it would appear that he might be willing to stay away and box Quarry. Patterson retreating, and this is the first time Floyd has assumed that action since about round 2. Immediately ties up Quarry. So a minute gone in round 9, and Quarry punch strong. That right hand was not flush, although it brought a cheer from the fans farther back. Halfway through round 9. Quarry opening up, and again it's that body shot with the left hand that was the best punch of the exchange. And regardless of the outcome of this fight, Jerry Quarry has gained great respect from Patterson, and certainly those who know the capabilities of Patterson.
Lightning-like fists of Floyd Patterson.
50 seconds remaining in round 9. It's been a good heavyweight 10-rounder.
Once again, Dick, a pat on the back with a fine catch-up work over in Jerry's corner, performed by Teddy Bentham. An excellent job.
And also kudos to referee John Thomas with another outstanding job. We near the close now of round 9. And matchmaker Mickey Davies has seen almost all of Quarry's 28 fights. Mickey, would you agree that this is Quarry's best performance, win, lose, or draw?
By far, Dick. He's been most impressive. And Mr. Al Bullen, whom you mentioned here a while ago, an advisor to Floyd Patterson, said he's really surprised, and he's amazed at the ability and the potential showed by this young Irish heavyweight.
10th and final round. Both men have been down. Patterson twice in round 2. And Quarry at the tail end of round 7. Solid left by Patterson. And Quarry catching Patterson coming in with a left hand. 1 minute gone in round 10. Halfway through the final round. Oh, it's been a good heavyweight match. Quarry trying to load up and get that one big one. But Patterson certainly ever dangerous. With 1 minute to go. 1 minute. Good combination by Quarry. Against the ropes. 30 seconds.
One of the finest heavyweight fights we've seen in years, Dick.
It's had a bit of everything. Patterson opening up in the final round, final seconds. 15 to go. Quarry caught by surprise. Crowd cheering the conclusion. There's the final bell. Twice the heavyweight champion of the world, Floyd Patterson, returns to his corner knowing that young Jerry Quarry, 10 years younger, across the way, is one to be reckoned with as a heavyweight in the future. Patterson tasted that left hook of Quarry's. It knocked him down in the second round. In the same round, after back on his feet, he was dropped by a right hand. But the veteran Patterson, boxing brilliantly, put Quarry down, and the exhausted Irishman across the way hit the canvas in round 7. He had a cut eye in round 3 that bothered him in the middle rounds, but by good corner work, his cutmen closed that wound in the late rounds. Quarry now comes over to congratulate Patterson. Jimmy Lennon collects the cards from referee John Thomas and the judges Dick Young and George Latka at ringside. And this crowd now sits back and awaits the decision. Clayton Fry, the commissioner, across the way now examines the 3 cards. Mickey Davies standing by. You're the winner. That's the decision. And here's the announcement.
All right, fans, we have a split decision. I would read the point totals. Judge Latka scores it 7-6 in favor of Jerry Quarry. Your referee, John Thomas, scores it 5-5. Dick Young, with a deciding ballot, sees it even 6-6. The decision is a draw.
Repeating again, the scoring 6-6 said Judge Dick Young. Referee John Thomas had it 5-5. You must win by a majority vote, since George Latka, the other judge, called it 7-6 in favor of Quarry. Quarry could not win the fight. He must win the ballots of at least 2 of the 3. So it is a draw. Patterson and Quarry at the Coliseum tonight. Dick Enberg for matchmaker Mickey Davies, thank you for being with us. We'll see you again next week.